Welcome to Bethel Park High School. We're putting together this featurette on what goes into making of a high school musical. This year's musical was Robin Hood, so I hope you enjoy the featurette and come out and see the show itself.
My name is Courtney Falls. I am an English teacher at Bethel Park High School, and I am also the director of the fall play. This year, the fall play is Robin Hood.
Okay, and what can you tell us about it? I mean, everybody knows the story of Robin Hood, but I'm sure you probably have some unique twists or something to it.
Our version of Robin Hood, it tells the story as to how Robin Hood might have become the outlaw that he became known as. So what were the circumstances that surrounded that decision? Who was he before? Who did he become once he decided that he was going to be the man of the people? And how did that maybe change the legend?
The sheriff thinks that he can use the people of Nottingham to capture him. But all he's doing is emptying their pockets to line his own. It's time someone put a stop to that.
And what a better way to stop him by lining their pockets with his money.
Yeah! It would make people less likely to turn you in, Robin, when you were helping them as well.
You mentioned that so many people know the story of Robin Hood, but there's so many different versions.
Right.
Because it's in public domain, there's been so many interpretations of who is Robin Hood, who is Maid Marian, who is the sheriff, how does he interact with all of them. And so I think this is just one more way to look at the story, at sort of the classic characters, and maybe see a new version of them, see maybe a reimagining of some of how they interact with one another as well.
My name is Cody Shetter. I'm in 12th grade and I play the role of Robin Hood.
And who are you who has the audacity to act as though your robbery is no more than a common social crime?
I am Robin Hood of Sherwood Forest, my lady.
Why not Robin, thief of ladies?
Well, I have been known to be a thief of a heart or two.
Of course, all my plays prepared me for where we are now, senior year, final play, having the best time, doing the best role that I could ever ask for, and having the best castmates I could ever ask for. But definitely my first year at Midsummer Night's Dream prepared me for this, because you really had to enunciate for that, speak well, and emphasize on a lot of different words to give clues for Shakespearean, what people should clue in on to figure out what you're saying. But truly just the whole experience of fall play has really brought me to where I am, preparing me to play this role, because it's from where I began. I started from shivering and freaking out to my hands shaking on stage to my hands shaking on stage and being able to smile now. So it's not about not being nervous, it's about being nervous and being able to be happy about it and laugh about it, because if you're able to, it's not even overcoming it, it's taking in that fear and fueling it to your own ability to act.
I see no justice here!
I know who you are. You are that pestilence Robin Hood, who plagues the King's Forest with his thievery.
You do me honor, Sheriff. I think it is best I do not humiliate you in front of these lovely ladies.
I'm Alexandria Zallo. I'm a junior, and I'm playing Lady Marian.
Princess Isabel, I was wondering where you plan to visit.
John has business with your uncle. So, Marian, you are a swordswoman as well. Perhaps we have something in common after all.
I doubt it.
Perhaps I can take your servant's place?
Certainly. I always enjoy a match.
I will adjust my technique developed from years of training to suit your level.
Many years of training with my father have helped me best many a man, Your Highness.
I am no man.
No, certainly not.
My sources tell me you've been taking long rides into Sherwood Forest lately.
Your sources? You mean your spies?
She is very stubborn and feisty, and she likes to argue, and she always thinks she's right even when she's not. She's in a love triangle and a sticky situation.
My business, lad, is to demand your name and your business within these woods, or my sword will force the answer from you.
You will draw no answer from your lips.
Does this part fit you?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always wise to try to make it to the goal.
but no more willing to tell you their tales, or shall I say your tales?
I think your gold must be passing over the wrong palms, Princess Isabel, for I have no tales worth telling.
I'm Cameron Nickel. I am now a senior, and this year I'll be playing the Sheriff of Nottingham, or as he likes to call himself, the High Sheriff of Nottinghamshire, Derbyshire, and the Royal Forests. Lord Bromley, it pains me to have to visit you under such unfortunate circumstances.
Sheriff, you do not look pained.
But I feel it, Lord Bromley, I truly do. To have to continually remind the lords and barons who reside within my jurisdiction of their financial obligation to the kingdom that allows them to live in title and comfort. But I am duty-bound by the crown to enforce the king's taxes. The sheriff is a really fun role. He's really mean very often. He's very villainous, but at the same time, he's a bit of a mama's boy.
Edward, my sources tell me that Lord Bromley's niece, Lady Marian Fitzwalter of Arlingford, has come to live with him and Lady Bromley.
Yes, I met her this morning, and she is quite lovely.
You should seek to court her.
I have just received word, Mother, that she will be joining me for a ride tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, well done, Edward. Do try and wear something nice.
Mother!
You always wear black. It's such a dreary color. I do not know why you young people always wear black.
He's very comedic, mainly through being mean to his assistant, Sir Guy, but it's still funny.
What are you doing? After them, you fools!
And that's a lot of the show. A lot of it's just him and me, banter, inside jokes.
Soon, they'll be saying there should be no taxation without representation.
The governor's having a say in the government?
But he is Robin Hood's arch nemesis and is always trying to get him in jail, get him caught, do wrong to him. I will also need a champion to beat Robin Hood. I mean, what fun is there in a trap if he actually wins? It will be so much better if he loses in a humiliating defeat, and then I trap him.
My name's John Trafficani. I'm a junior, and I'm playing Prince John.
If you continue to skim the money from the tax increases you impose in Richard's name, you should be able to hire enough soldiers to challenge Richard's claim to the throne.
Yes, I know the kingdom's so poor from all of my new taxes. Richard won't have the money to be able to fend off my attack.
To King John.
And Queen Isabel. He's kind of orchestrating the whole treason thing. He wants to overtake the throne, and he tries very hard. Do you have any idea what this Robin Hood has cost the crown? Money's tight, Sheriff. I would sell London if I could find a buyer.
My name is Thomas Black. I am a senior, and I am Sir Guy of Gisborne. He's like a right-hand man to the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Well, Sheriff, I'm actually an excellent archer myself.
Excellent! That will certainly save me the hassle of trying to find an archer.
It's funny. It's got, like I said, a wonderful cast. Me and the Sheriff, he's like my best friend, so we go along great together. I mean, everybody else, the cast, everybody, we all get along wonderfully, so we all blend in, and it all works.
And although you fight for freedom, and although you fight for all, can't you make your way westward? Oh, Richard, can you make your way home?
The first person who I ask about the play is I always sit down with Dr. Jansani and talk about my idea for the play that year. And so that's the first person that I talk to. And then once I've spoken to Dr. Jansani about the official choice, then all of the students find out. And this year they found out we have a Facebook page, and I had posted, it was an Android commercial from last year that used the song of Little John and Robin Hood walking through the forest. And so there's a little confusion at first as to what exact play we were doing because of all the animals that are used in the commercial. But eventually a number of kids picked up on the insinuation.
Merry men!
ready to go with Amelia? Cody?
Yes, you.
Yes,
To
go
my side
on,
of the
go
stage.
take them. A lot of what I try and think about is how to include as many students as possible, and it's very, very difficult. Most plays are written for a cast of anywhere between about 8 to maybe 15 people. It's just the logistics. When you look at Broadway plays, it has a lot to do with how many people they'd like to employ, and so they're not thinking of it in the same manner as, let's say, a musical. And so for high schools, musicals have been very effective means of including many students because you can include an ensemble cast. So in the play format, it becomes a little bit more difficult to find those venues that you can employ so many students on the stage. And so that was the first thing that I was looking for the play again this year. Last year we had 31 students in the cast. This year we have 36 students in the cast. So trying to find a play that can expand to that number of students and keep them all involved and have it to be a significant involvement within the play. That was where my decision came from. And I also wanted to try and find something that the audience would enjoy, that the students would enjoy, and that would be an experience that maybe we might keep having people coming back to see fall play.
I like whenever we do like the more adventurous type plays, like Peter Pan last year was so much fun to do, because like the characters are just very fun, and like with Midsummer, it was a Shakespeare play, so we were trying to be like more proper and but like doing like Robin Hood and Peter Pan, it's just much more fun, I would say.
The cast is much bigger this year.
Okay.
And that does make it easier at some points because there are more people to fill other roles. And at the same time, it makes it more difficult because there are a lot more people on the stage at one time. So it does sometimes slow down the blocking.
My freshman year, we had a really small cast, and sophomore year got a little bigger, and this year it's huge, which is awesome because we have a lot of people always filling the stage. We always have someone on stage as the extras, just filling in and making the scene look realistic, which is awesome.
So with a bigger cast comes the problem with a lot of teenagers in one room being very loud. That's what we do. But I like this. I love the cast this year. Everyone's very happy, as per usual with every year I've been in here. No one's really ever been sad or just gloomy. It's nice to have each year a whole fresh wave of freshmen to come in, and some from last year that continue to stay with fall play. It's nice to see those faces again, and having us all here together, especially in a big cast. It's just nice to have like a giant web of people working together on such a beautiful craft as of theater.
I like that we have a new cast of people. I loved our cast last year, great people last year, and great people this year, and even some of the people from last year are still in this one. And I think the cast really, you can have a bad production, but a wonderful cast, and it can be your favorite, production that you've ever put on. So the cast always, the cast brings it.
Well, I really enjoy acting, and I heard from a lot of other kids that everyone here was really nice, and so I decided to join.
A lot of my friends were doing it, and I've enjoy doing things like this.
I actually like the new experience because I'm interested in going into theater when I grow up, so
very nice.
I want to get to know all the aspects.
It's still just learning all the aspects of what has to go into a show is kind of interesting as well.
This is your 9th grade. Have you done plays before at other schools?
No, I have not.
Okay. What got you involved in joining this play here?
I've always been interested, just my old school's plays weren't as funded, and they weren't very well produced.
Okay.
And I was interested in, I always went to Bethel Park plays, like the musicals and stuff like that. I was very interested in getting into more professional plays like this.
Now, is this your first play you're doing for Bethel Park?
Yes.
Okay. And no acting experience prior to this at all?
Nope.
Okay. What made you join the cast for this show?
Well, it's a really interesting story, but
Good.
I didn't want to go home and do chores because my mom said we had a lot to do. I'm like, you know what, I'll just stay here and audition. I wasn't actually going to audition. I just wanted to come and talk to the people I know here. And so they all pointed me out, made me get up to an audition, and I ended up with a semi-major part.
I've done plays since 7th grade, and I've always been interested in musicals and theater and being on stage. So when I got here and I found out they were doing a fall play,
You were in.
Yeah,
no
I
matter
was.
what. You didn't need any coaxing or
Yeah.
convincing.
If I don't act, then I howl at the moon late at night, so I had to get that out of my system. This was the closest way to get out my desire to act.
I've done plays since 3rd grade, I believe.
Wow.
And I've just always been involved, and I love being involved in the theater and stuff like that.
A lot of my friends really were supportive of me doing it, and they kind of forced me into it.
Okay.
So I'm happy they did that, though.
Yeah, we have a lot of freshmen. It's very exciting because there's so many people to meet, and I'm a very social person, so I love meeting new people. I think half the fun is that.
You have a lot of first-year students this year, don't you?
I do, which is always exciting to welcome new people. We like to call it the Fall Play family,
Okay.
because that's what I hope that it is for them, that it's just another group that they feel welcome, that they make new friends, and hopefully they're people that they will stay in touch with, not only throughout high school, but throughout the course of their lives.
Welcome to Fall Play.
This year, it's like a lot bigger, as everyone's probably been saying, but it's just such a great energy. Everyone's really nice. Everyone's friends. We've been having way more cast parties. We've had one like every few weeks, just like bonding. So it's really fun.
People should come to see the play because we're a great cast. It's going to be a great show. And, you know, it's a fun show. You'll get a lot of laughs out of it.
Because I made a ton of new friends. It's a great experience. I love the story and the plot. It's just a lot of fun.
It's a movie. It's got that nice taste of like hard-hitting action with the drama here and the action there and action, drama, action.
I think a lot of them, like in Peter Pan, we had some action, we had some sword fights. I think they like the prospect of that again as well. And you know, I think we're all children at heart, and so those kinds of stories that tell the perpetual tale of legends and of heroes, I think we always gravitate towards those.
I'm really impressed with a lot of the fight scenes, and I know the blocking is very hard to choreograph, and Miss Falls is doing a wonderful job with that so far. So
Compared to Peter Pan last year, the most lines were, like 150 lines. Well, now we have a character that has 202 lines, which is quite a bit. So it's I think that it's a little bit longer. A lot more lines. It's fun to go through, and we all have different techniques from remembering lines. It's fun to go through and see everybody's.
It's really a great show, and I mean it's the classic, Robin Hood, and it's really awesome to see. It's a show for families, so it's really great to see all of the young kids come, and then hopefully they'll come up. Maybe some of them will come up through the high school here and be able to do fall play when they're teenagers, so it's really nice.
It's a different group of people this year. Not saying that this group of people is better or worse, but it's just a different group of people, and it's awesome to meet them and work with them.
All of the actors are amazing, stage crew is really good, and it's just going to be a great show.
We are all putting in like so much hard work, and like Miss Falls puts in ridiculous amounts of work. Like she puts everything into it, and it's a really fun show. It's like family friendly, and everyone just would enjoy it.
These people are amazing. I love all of them, and they're doing an amazing job.
I think it's going to be something very enjoyable to see. It has a lot of dimension in the show. It has parts for everybody. There are things that are tailored to smaller children, things that are comical that teenagers will get, and things that is just classical and more adult-like. There are some money dealt with, which is more adult-like, but there's like little comical bits that are more for children or teenagers, and it's just a good mix of everything, so I think every age should enjoy the show.
It's fun. We are putting a lot of work into this, so is Miss False and all of our assistant directors, and we want to put on a good show for the audience.
We're a good cast, and it's a great show for little kids and families.
It's Robin Hood. Who doesn't like Robin Hood?
It's probably the best play I've done so far, so you should go see it.
Well, if this year I believe the stage crew roster is somewhere around 60, so if we add in our assistants as well, we're topping over 100 students involved in the production. So those are awesome numbers, and stage crew always works very, very hard. They do such a nice job behind the scenes so that the students on stage can do their jobs and that the flow of the production works.
Right there. Up a little bit. Upstage or up that way? Downstage. Yeah, right, that's extreme dark spot. Oh yeah, you can see the light.
My name is John Derby, and I'm the stage crew sponsor. And this year, I've actually taken over the construction work for the fall play. As the sponsor of the stage crew, you know, the stage crew is in charge of all the technical aspects of the show, the lighting, the sound, you know, all the stage work, changing the props, the scenery during the show, making sure all of that runs smoothly as well. And that's kind of an all-encompassing thing that we learn here in the auditorium, how to take care of the stage, of the theater for groups coming in, you know, whether it's a simple microphone or 20-some microphones for a production like this. You know, the kids learn all of the basics and then go more in depth as we rehearse.
I'm Amelia Hastings. I am a senior this year. I am the sheriff's mother.
Okay.
And I am also the student director. This is my 3rd year as the student director of the fall play. And I really just work with the director to make sure that everything gets done that needs to get done. This year I'm doing a lot of painting as well as costuming, so it's really a fun role.
My name is Tony Ipietro. I'm in 12th grade, and for the play this year, I am head lights and also the lighting designer. As the lighting designer, what I do is I work with Mrs. False to design how the lights look on the stage, and then program them into the board, and make sure everything's good. As we run these changes, we make adjustments, and basically, up to the last day, we're still working, making tiny adjustments to the show so it all looks really good.
I'm Ben Smith. I'm in 10th grade, and I'm the light board designer for the play. Tony and I, we go through the show with our scripts as they're performing it, and we figure out what lighting is best and which design pretty much fits the play. So then we'll make cues for it, and we'll pretty much program it so it's kind of an automatic step-by-step.
My name is Garrett Hoffman. I am a sophomore in grade 10, and I am currently the light board operator for the play.
My name is Todd Ackerman. I'm in 10th grade, and I'm the assistant light board operator for the play.
Well, basically, I hit the go button to go to the next cue, and in dire circumstances, I hit the back button to go to the last cue.
Okay.
Also, if the cues get messed up, then I also need to know how to maneuver the board so that I can fix whatever happened on stage that potentially went wrong, although I'm not the one who programs it and puts all the cues in. Well, also, as a little side thing, because I would like to be a composer whenever I grew up, I also wrote some music as intro music and potentially as ending music for the play.
Really?
So if that gets used, then I will have some original work being used in the...
That's exciting. Congratulations.
Why, thank you.
I'm Will Miller. I'm the master electrician, and I'm in 10th grade. I basically aim all the lights and make sure everything's working while the other people program. I'm aiming the lights and making sure nothing goes horribly wrong.
All right. Now I can't see it from up here, so you're going to need to tell me when it's in focus.
My name is Lucian Dean. I'm in 10th grade, and I am master props. My props is basically to take care of everything that the actors use on the stage, like swords, clothes, random items that you might see on the stage, you know, some special stuff too, like a lot of the metallic objects that they use. You might see that up there. I am the guy that basically takes care of them. It's my responsibility to get them back after the actors are using them. Pretty much treat them like gold, pretty much, you know. I gotta be really careful with them, clean them and everything. Make sure everything's in working condition.
I feel as if the interaction between the cast and the stage crew has been very good, especially over the past couple of years. You know, it's something that we really preach here at Bethel Park is just the interaction between people, making sure that we respect one another, we work well with one another, and you know, knowing that we are all part of the show. It's important that everyone is respecting each other's roles, even if they're not on stage. Without the crew, you know, things can go very wrong. So it's important that the cast members understand that the crew is helping them in the background, and obviously the crew knows that what they are doing is for the benefit of the cast on stage.
It's just been great to work with such a talented group of people this year, and such a fun show, good writing. Everything's been coming together great.
Mrs. Aloy Rose, always so supportive and helpful. Dr. Jansani, always so supportive and helpful. Mr. Derby, Rob Gratton, stage crew, always there for us. Other teachers such as Mr. Wallish with the art club. They are again working with us to create some neat cutouts, so when you're there on performance nights, you can take a little picture through one of their cutouts. Mrs. Perot and the graphic design department is working with us this year to help us with screen printing some of our projects and some of our costumes. Again, tremendous community support. EV Hardware and Mr. Amrine have just been fantastic. Anything that we've ever needed has always been provided for us, has always been taken care of for us. Just tremendous customer service that I can't be more thankful for. Mr. Dave Cable and BPTV, it's so nice to have the backing of Mr. Cable and all of the time that he's put in as well with the featurettes over the last several years. Additionally, we've had support from Little Lake Theater, and they've been kind enough to lend us our set for this, pieces of our set, the furniture for this particular year. So it was very nice to develop that relationship with them. Haircut Express, Bill, Lori, and Taylor Parker, who help us with some of the hairstyling for the nights of the show for our performers. Also Supreme Cleaners take care of us with the cleaning of all of the costumes that we rent from Point Park at the conclusion of the show. And Point Park, they have been phenomenally helpful with helping us to have some great costuming that we might not have otherwise been able to procure. So just great community support. So many people that have been assisting me and the students throughout. I would have to say, again, thank you to Mrs. Aloy Rose, to Dr. Jan Sani, to my department head, Mr. Charles Youngs, who's always very supportive, to Mr. Kent Wallish, to Mrs. Perot, also to Mr. and Mrs. Hastings. Mrs. Hastings is the woman who deals with the costuming and has always come up with phenomenal costumes and exciting things to see. I would also like to thank my parents, who, even long after my brother and I have graduated from Bethel Park High School, have continued to contribute to the success of Bethel Park students in what they assist me with for the show. So I appreciate all the support that we get. The play is Thursday, November 12th at 7:30, Friday, November 13th at 7:30, and Saturday, November 14th at 2 p.m. And that's a special matinee that afterwards, any attendees at the performance have the opportunity to take pictures with the cast after the show. The tickets for the shows are Thursday, November 12th at 7:30 p.m., Friday, November 13th at 7:30 p.m., and Saturday, November 14th at 2 p.m. Tickets are $5. The public can come to Bethel Park High School on Thursday the 5th of November, Friday the 6th of November, Monday the 9th of November, and Tuesday the 10th of November between the time of 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And Mrs. Schreiber, who will be taking care of ticket sales, will be available at the window at the entrance of the school selling tickets for pre-sale. However, anyone who would love to come to the show, we will have tickets available for each performance at the door.
This is a very different show for Bethel Park, and I think people will find something that they didn't think they were going to in this. Originally hearing that we were doing Robin Hood, I did not think it would turn out like it is, and the script is much different, and people will find something that they really enjoy in it.
I think people in the community should come and see the show because it is magical to see what the students can do, not only the actors but also stage crew, to understand that they're students and that they can put on such a entertaining, exciting, and thrilling performance. And certainly, of course, I hope that they will enjoy many of those fun aspects of the show, all of the little sword fights and stage fighting, and of course the wonderful story of Robin Hood. So I certainly hope that the community will come out and support its students.
I want to thank everyone who participated in this featurette on Robin Hood. Come on out and enjoy the show.